of doing oversight on the South African Police Service in the province and also the Department of Community Safety in the province. I'm with my team, members of the committee who are honorable members of the provincial legislature, who later on, before we proceed, I'm going to allow them, give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. Before we start with many issues and matters on the agenda, one is prescribed as the chair of the committee to actually declare this hall, community hall in Greenspark, Fochville, as the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. This is a prerequisite that we all have to do before we proceed with our engagements. I, Honorable Bandile Masuku, the chairperson of the Community Safety Committee, hereby declares the Greenspark Community Hall as the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in terms of Rule 56 of the Standing Rules of the Gauteng Legislature, read together with Section 1, Section 2, Section 28 of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislature Act Number 4 of 2004. The precinct of Parliament are described as follows. The precinct of Parliament or legislature is the area of land and every building or part of the building under Parliament's control, including the chambers in which the proceedings of the House are conducted and the galleries and lobbies of the chambers, every part of the building in which chambers are situated, every forecourt, yard, garden enclosure, open space thereto, the committee rooms and other meeting places provided or used primarily for Parliament, legislature's purposes, and every other building or part of the building provided or used in the connection with the proceedings of Parliament, while so used. For the duration of this meeting, this place will be the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. Thus, the standing rules of the legislature will apply and govern all the engagements of the day. I so declare. So as I've done that, we'll move just to welcome all of you who have made the trip and who have made an effort to form part of this stakeholder engagement. This stakeholder engagement is part of our focus intervention study that we have adopted and agreed to engage in, where we are looking at the actual enforcement of the Domestic Violence Act by the South African Police Service. This is one of the important acts that is helping us to deal with the gender-based violence that we see rising in our communities. This is not our first stakeholder engagement. We have had a previous engagement in the district of Sidibeng, where we engaged various stakeholders on the very same matter. We all know that Gauteng as a province is one of the most populous province, hence most of the statistics will always be found high in our province. But we know and we commend our police force in their numbers, who by and large have actually complied somehow compared to other provinces to the Domestic Violence Act. We also, part of this engagement, we visit police stations to look at and observe and look at and inspect the areas where victims of gender-based violence and domestic violence are actually handled. I'm certain the members did that. Unfortunately, I couldn't form part of that visit. They will give us that indication. But overall, thank you for making time. We'd like to welcome the Premier in absentia, who will make time to come through when they finish with the business that they are busy with. welcome the HOD, Mam Sisulu, who always been part of our engagements, and we truly appreciate the effort, HOD, to be part of our engagements and also listen to the stakeholders. We also have got a couple of eminent people around, our ward councillor, Councillor Sifako, who's here, who's also going to represent the community. And also welcome the leadership of the police in Fochville Police Station, the station commander, Lieutenant Colonel Mulepo. Apparently he's fresh from the box. I'm not sure how fresh he is at the moment, but I know that in our previous interaction with the police service in Fochville, we were left with a whole lot of disappointment because the previous station commander left an acting, and then there was another acting on the actor. So it was a difficult process that we had to engage in. But thank you so much. The word on the street is that there's a change, and we are hoping that it's going to be a sustained change. And the stakeholders, I'm sure when they are here, they will also reflect on it whilst you give the report of the station. You are quite and welcome with your team and all other members from the Department of Community Safety, all of you who are here. Thank you so much for making time to be here. I've already done the purpose of the session and also opening. So I would like us to start with the presentations of the day, which are meant to be very brief, precise, but also making sure that we do get the information that we actually require. And we're also going to get the reflections from the community, particularly the Community Police Forum and the Ward Councillor. It's an important thing that we have to engage with the community, where the Community Police Forum are actually given an opportunity to also add their word or two, and then the stakeholders will give their opinion. So that's how we're going to proceed with this engagement, and hopefully we'll have a very fruitful discussion. GBVF is a very big problem, a challenge in our society and community, and we have to make sure that all of us, you know, when I say all of us, it's not going to be police alone, it's not going to be the CPF, it's not going to be the Community Safety Department. It all needs all of us to work together to make sure that we are able to deal with it. Thank you for your attention as I welcome Ms. Mapeto, who's going to present the interventions made on addressing domestic violence on behalf of the Department of Community Safety. They can come forward. HOD, you can maybe make the remarks as she comes forward. Yes. Maybe whilst the HOD is moving towards the podium, for those who will require translation, the translation services are available. The gadgets are available at the back. On the gadget here, channel 1 is for translation for English, channel 2 for isiZulu and Xhosa, channel 3 is for all the Sotho languages. Channel 4 is all for the Sotho languages, and channel 3 is for Afrikaans. So if those who require translation, the gadgets are available. Thank you, HOD. Over to you.
Good afternoon, Honourable Member, to the Honourable Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, and to the honourable members of the Portfolio Committee as a whole. And I'd like to...
Maybe let's raise the voice, HOD. That Shop Stewart voice, you know that one.
Yes, Chair. Honourable Chairperson. Bengisabingelela ke re ke dumise kaofela batho ba leng teng ka tlung, and just to indicate, let me appreciate the work of the portfolio committee that keeps us on our toes as a department, and certainly ensuring that we are also doing our work and our oversight work over the police service as it pertains particularly to Domestic Violence Act, which imubaiza umsebenzi kahle akho umuntu ojikiswayo, and that we also ensure that people who are affected by issues of gender-based violence, be they men, women, children, persons with disabilities or otherwise, they are able to get services at the Gender-Based Violence Center, as well as the Victim Empowerment centers that are available at the police station. So we'd like to thank the Portfolio Committee on that, and hopefully all the oversight work that the Provincial Secretariat in the department under the National Secretariat of Police will be able to give us from our national monitoring tool results that we've had, and see go to station commander if the proof is in the proof of the pudding is in the eating of it. So let's see what the results say, and welcome. Thank you. Nana is the director here, and Umpeto will indeed take us through the work of the team. Thanks.
Thank you. Maybe before I get fined by my members, we allow them to introduce themselves, because I might be fined. We've got the deputy speaker of the legislature, I've got the deputy chairs of chairs. My salary might be docked if I don't do this. Can I hand over to them whilst you get ready with the presentation? Let's start with this side.
Thank you, Chair Molweni Ndleni. My name is Vuyo Mhlagaza Manamela, a member of the committee.
Ngegama nguThulana kaKnene, member of the committee.
Libitso la ka ke Matshidiso Maloka, member ya committee.
Goeiemiddag almal, my naam is Louisa Evans en ek is 'n lid van die komitee.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Cruzon Bosch. I'm a member of the committee.
Over to you, Director.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Let me greet the honorable members, taking note of our community from Fochville, Rally Dumedis. My name is Nana Malaudzi. I am the director responsible for the Western Corridor in the Department of Community Safety. Chairperson, my presentation today relates to a report that we will provide to the committee in terms of the programs that the department is embarking on in terms of combating domestic violence in the policing precinct of Fochville. Chairperson, the presentation overview is we will look at the purpose, the background, the scope of work, crime statistics, assessment of the Domestic Violence Act in terms of compliance in the precinct, and also, Chairperson, we will speak on the findings from the assessment that we would have made. And lastly, Chair, we will speak on the interventions that we as a department are conducting in relation to domestic violence in the precinct. Chairperson, the purpose is threefold. Like I said, we will provide an overview on the assessment, highlighting the findings and also the interventions. Background, Chairperson, briefly, you are the legislature, you are the committee that invited us as a department to come, and we...
Where's the presentation?
Can I continue, Chair?
Yeah, are they fixing it?
Must I take a minute, Chair? Or must I continue?
Maybe you can continue. Oh, they've actually affected your... your view now. Would like to apologize for that small glitch.
Thank you, Chair. I'm advised that I should continue by the technical team.
Is it? But it's not showing. Okay. Thank you.
It's fine. You can go ahead. Chair, was actually on the purpose. I think just to go back to the purpose. Chairperson, is threefold. The purpose is the assessment that we will speak on, the highlights, and also, Chairperson, the interventions that as a department we would have made. Chairperson, the background is that we are here as per invite from GPL, and basically the objective is just to be part of the community engagements, Chair, in terms of compliance on the Domestic Violence Act. And as a department, together with SAPS, we were asked to come and provide feedback in terms of our programs, Chair. Our scope of work, I think it's very important, Chair, that we just highlight in terms of the department, what is it, what is our focus in terms of the subject at hand. We do have an oversight work that we do in terms of domestic violence by way of doing assessments in policing precincts, Fochville being one of those. And also we assess the victim-friendly rooms, Chair. And for this, we do utilize a tool. And again, another part of our scope of work is in relation to community police relations, where, Chair, we look at the functional community police forums, the structure, and then we look at the deployment of our community patrollers and also the youth crime prevention desk. Lastly, Chair, we do the GBF community interventions via the work that our brigades are doing at the green doors and also the floor managers. Chairperson, in terms of the crimesters, we can report that Fochville Policing Precinct is not listed as a provincial GBVF hotspot, as per the crime stats that are released, especially the recent ones that were released by the Minister of Police. However, Chair, when we do the ranking as stations in the corridor, we have noticed that the precinct has literally increased in terms of rape and sexual offense. This, Chairperson, we compare based on two crimes, rape and sexual offenses. So when we look at quarter 4 of 2023-24, compared to quarter 4 of 2024-25, we have seen an increase because it was 5 in quarter 4 of 2023, and in quarter 4 of 2024, it's 8. So there was a case difference that was recorded as a +3. And the ranking as a corridor, it's 8 for both crimes. Chairperson, as I said, we do assessment from an oversight lens of our work. Based on the oversight that we do, those are the focus areas, Chair. Let me not belabor the point with speaking about each one of them because there's detail on each one in the next slide. In terms of compliance of the policing precinct, the station is performing at 69%, Chair, which is, in terms of the tool, it's partially compliant. This is as a result of the fact that the station, the patrol vehicles of the station, we found that they do not have the SAPS 508A and DVA Form 1. These are critical administrative forms, Chairperson, that needs to be in each of the patrol sector vehicles because this is where the officers need to record the complaint, and this is also where the rights of the complaints would need to be read to whoever that has a complaint in DVA. The second part that we believe is attributing the station to 69%, Chair, is that in the first and second level inspections, in terms of the instruction, it's the station needs to do it weekly. But we have found that they only do it monthly. So we are believing that this is part of the reason that leads to their partial compliance. And this was a concern because in terms of the training that was provided, 54 subs personnel of VISPOL chairperson, they were trained on DVA. So the expectation is that it should actually be 100%. In terms of the availability of volunteers in the VFR, access to psychosocial support chairperson, just to mention actually a few points here, there are 3 floor managers that are responsible for receiving victims of DVA. They receive them, they assess them, and they refer them to the relevant stakeholder. And also there is a service level agreement between the Department of Social Development and the NGO that is currently attached to the station that is managing the VFR. We also have, we can say that we have confirmed that there are female members that gets deployed for VFR, which minimizes secondary victimization, Chair. And then we can also attest that the station also submits their victim-friendly reports on a quarterly basis. And there is access to a safe place where the victims are seen and are referred when the need arises. In terms of the status of copies on the protection order as per the tool again, Chair, we can confirm that indeed the interim and the final copies of the protection orders we did find. And for the period under reporting, there's a total of 115 of the copies that were received. And we can also say that we noticed also that 16 copies of the protection orders were not served. And when we inquired, it was because sometimes when the complainant would actually lodge a complaint and when there has to be service of the protection order, you find that the perpetrator is no longer staying there and it's issues more of address that we got as reasons. And then the station does serve 24 protection orders within 24 hours and the protection order register, the Chair, we did inspect. The station does not have access to a sign language interpreter. However, when there's a need for such service, they do access the local court for assistance. And we also found that the station has failed to keep the records of members who failed to comply with the National Instruction on Domestic Violence, and this we have also communicated to the station management. In terms of the gender-based desk, the station has established a gender-based desk, and the desk is accessible also to people with disability, and the station has appointed a gender-based coordinator who has access to a vehicle for ease of coordination of GBV activities. In terms, Chairperson, of the interviews to the victims, we can say that the station has a private interviewing space for the domestic violence victims that is only for the VFR. And also that members of the Community Service Center do have pocket books and they were signed by their commanders. Chair, as we assessed, obviously there would be findings to such an assessment, and the findings that we can speak to in terms of for the committee is that the performance of the station in relation to implementation of gender-based, DVA, should actually, Chairperson, be fully compliant, 100%. It is concerning for us that they are not there. And also we have noted that the issue of the Form 1 that is not in the vehicles, and also they do not conduct a first level and second level inspection, that is a finding. But in relation to VFRs, the victim-friendly rooms, we can say that they are actually compliant. Therefore, based on this assessment, Chair, we are recommending that the station must just strive for 100% compliance, and then there needs to, in each and every patrol vehicle, there has to be a Form 1 and SAP 1508A, and then the station has to conduct first and second level inspection, and that the station must ensure that they keep a record of members who are not complying with the National Instruction on Domestic Violence. Those are the recommendations, Chair, from the oversight work that we spoke about. Now, Chairperson, as we take the next part of the work, interventions that the department would have conducted in terms of DVA. Our interventions as a department, Chairperson, they are threefold. We have social crime prevention, we have GBVF brigades, we also have Ikaya Letemba. Social crime prevention, they conduct educational interventions. They have programs that focus on vulnerable groups, and they will target women, children, the elderly, LGBTQI. plus and people living with disability. And the brigades, they conduct household assessments. And also they provide court support to victims of GBVF, and the victims are referred also for relevant stakeholder attention. And lastly, ICAYA, they provide support to GBF victims, and they train also our South African police members. Chairperson, in terms of our ambassadors, we have brigades that are 10 for the Fochville, and we do have a CPF structure that is functional. And patrollers, we have 54, 22 are deployed in schools. The Youth Climate Prevention Desk, there are 12. Green Doors, Chairperson, we have 4, and VFR coordinators, there are 3. Chair, I won't go through all the interventions. Safe to say, Chair, that the interventions are target-based, and the interventions would more be on awareness, especially when we talk about social crime. You'll notice that in the period of reporting, Chairperson, that there are a number of intervention and awareness sessions that we did undertake in the precinct, from awareness to tavern interventions and to awareness campaigns, also to community members. There's also court picketing, Chairperson. It was a few court picketing that we did, obviously based on the cases that we would find, and our brigades would go to support the victim, advocating for justice in collaboration with other stakeholders as well. And the type of crimes that the brigades would normally picket for, it will be assault cases, murder, and rape. And in this period under review, Chair, we have seen quite a few court picketings from the brigades. Lastly, Chairperson, in terms of the work of the brigades, they don't only picket, they don't only go in households, they also refer. Where a victim would have suffered, I'll make an example, verbal abuse, they will obviously be referred for social worker. Where there's a need, also emotional abuse, where there's a need also to report, we will obviously take them to the relevant stakeholders, Chair. The last part, the last slide, Chair, dedicated intervention for GBVF. This is the work that is done by our ICAYA team. They ensure that there's training for our SAPS members. The floor managers also, they are managed by our ICAYA team, where they ensure that there's a deployment to the VFR, and also they do provide guidance and support, Chairperson. They do facilitate also development of GBF victims in terms of their economic empowerment as well, and they do provide linkages to the local Green Doors, Chairperson, in terms of the sites. As soon as there's a DVA, our Green Door ambassadors will actually respond. Chairperson, let me end it there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma'am Lautsi. Thank you for a comprehensive report and update on the work that has been done by the department and its structures on the area. Would like to now call Colonel Molepo to come and give us the status report of the station. I know the Colonel will try to summarize, particularly areas that maybe might not be of importance for the meeting, but I think there are areas just to understand the station's function and its contribution towards fighting against crime. The usual slides, the case management slides, I think you can be able to skip them, and then you proceed from the interventions that we have put, which also will capture the summary of those 10 slides that I would have mentioned from 23 on the case management. Over to you, Colonel. La motseba kaofela ke le la mona. O kile atla tlo introduce ko yena. Mara why na ke tseba go na le station commander sesage. Oh, okay. That's noted. I'm sure it will be corrected by the station management going forward, because it's important that the community must know who are the leaders of the station so that they can be able to relate with them quite easily. We know that part of our work as the committee is also to try and bridge the gap between the police and the community. And it's the way to also avoid what we call vigilantism, where the communities take the law into their hands. So it's an important aspect of making sure that the police do relate with the community, and they should be known in that regard. Whilst the kennel is preparing, are we okay? Good to go? Okay, there are areas that we'll make comments on when we do comments after the stakeholders have spoken. Over to you, Kennel.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and greetings to all. Let me observe all the protocols before I omit other people. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Molepo, the Station Commander of Fochville. As the chairperson have said, I'm not new, I'm old, and I'm here. Thank you very much. Let's proceed the presentation. In our overview of the presentation, we'll talk about the station precinct, which is the size of the station, the breakdown on how the police are working in terms of sector, the scale on the human resources where they say there's a shortage of vehicle or of members. We'll also go to the force multipliers, the members that we use when you do the operation to assist us. We'll go also to the hotspots and the crime overview, the integration of the crime prevention and the crime prevention strategies. We'll touch here and there on those 1 to 6 pillars. Then from there, we'll go to the challenges that we are facing as the police in terms of policing the community. Then we'll finalize with the recommendation. This is the map of Fochville. As you can see, the area is big on its own. The size of the station is in square kilometers, 749 kilometers, with a population released by Statistics South Africa mid-2024 as 62,865, of which are only registered citizens of the country. We are not counting others that are not registered or illegal in our country, but they do not form part of the 62,865. Our employment rate is 60%. We've got 2 sectors, whereby we divided the whole map that we show area. We divided into 2, where we police it with the areas called the sectors, which is Sector 1 and Sector 2. The police station is classified as an urban area, which means it's a location, it's informal settlement, it's plots and farms, it's industrial area. We've got 7 wards in the municipality, and in terms of performance, the weight of crime, the crime that we contribute in Gauteng, we are number 104 out of 146 police stations. But then it's a good number because we are doing, it means that at 104, we are contributing less. The station that move from 1 to 20 or 1 to 40 is the top priority station that are contributing in crime. So in Fochville, we are number 104 out of 145, which means we must push to at least 210, 215. Then the MEC will not visit us and say we are not performing. The next slide is the division of the areas that we police. The Sector 1, the area police is Kokosi, Extension 1, 2, and 3. Then we go to the Stormfonteins, the Bushhoek, the Delkra. These are all the farms that we are policing in terms of Sector 1. In Sector 2 also, we've got Fochville itself, the CBD, the suburbs, the Fochville East and West and South. We've got Extension 11, 2, 3, and 5. We've got Greenspark. We've got Mpatla Village, the problematic area that we all know is that it used to be a no-go area, but now we can go there and buy my keep and sit and be happy there. We've got other plots that side, which is Allansfontein, Goedgedag, Jacobsbos, Kraalkop, up to Rietfontein, the one that divides us, and Potchefstroom. The infrastructures that are affecting policing. We have 26 schools, 1 hospital, 4 clinics, 16 surgeries, 16 churches. On consumptions, which is the taverns, 38. The off consumptions with the bottle stores, we've got 10. Number of illegal outlets that were closed recently was 13. We've got 160 spaza shops that are still mushrooming. We've got 11 taxi ranks, 3 hostels, 1 train station, and 1 dominant industry, which is our mine. General dealers, we've got 16. We've got 1 auctioneer, 1 jewelry, and 3 motor vehicle dealers, and 11 scrap yards, and 2 recyclers. Our stakeholders who are assisting us in policing, Chairperson, we've got the Department of Community Safety, we've got Department of Community Safety and Transport with their responsibilities on the far right. We've got Department of Social Development, Department of Education. where we do school talks, school visit, school searches. We've got Department for Health, where we take our victims of crime to the hospital and the clinics and they get assistance. Department of Home Affairs, which is assisting us in terms of illegal immigrants and foreign nationals. Department of Justice, which is accessible to the community when they have queries about their unsolved cases. Correctional Services, which is doing the monitoring of the released offenders on bail and correctional services. You've got Gauteng Traffic Department, Liquor Board, Gauteng Gambling Board. You've got faith-based organization that the director have touched earlier on. You've got liquor forums where we engage with the taverns owners and the bottle store owners. You've got the crime prevention patrollers, which are part of the community under the CPF. The youth desk, as it was mentioned by the director, then the non-profit organization, where we take our victims, she's our Area Heng, which is based in Simunya, and then we've got Teddy Bear Clinic, where we take our children, the young victims of crime, and the school safety programs. In terms of policing, visible policing is the police who wear uniform. We are 108%, which means we don't have enough, but we are going somewhere. If we are on 200%, I'll be happy that I'll have a policeman on every second corner of the street. Detective service, I've got with 81%, support service 67%. In total, I'm on 97% to run the station, which means the station can run with the amount of manpower that we have. The force multiplier is the people that we use when we do the operation, security companies, the Gauteng traffic wardens. In terms of security, we use 68 members in the last quarter. In the last quarter, we used 68 security members to do the operation with 17 vehicles. Gauteng traffic wardens is 30 on a regular basis that are based in Fochville with 3 vehicles. The provincial traffic, we always get 10 and with 5 vehicles when we do the operation for drunken drivings. Road Traffic Act. Siabangana patrollers, we've got 30. They've got 1 bus that comes to us once a month, but we'll speak to Mr. Ngwenya that we can have it on full-time basis in Fochville. We've got the CPF, which we've got 6 executive members and the 1 vehicle. The vehicle is based at the district office. We borrow it when we want to do door-to-door with the CPF. It's not based in Fochville. We'll go to the next slide. In terms of the visible policing vehicles, there's 107 allocated, but currently I'm operating with 60%. Detectives, 91% operating at 80%. Support service, 100% operating at 100%. The total of 89% vehicles allocated to the station, and operation I've got 79%. So I have a shortage of 21% vehicles in the station, so we can run optimally. In the last financial year, 23-24, we received only 2 vehicles, 1 for detectives and 1 for visible, and then for the last year, financial year 24-25, we didn't receive any vehicle. So the shortage is still standing. We've got 17 community-reported crimes. I'll go to the reported stats that were released. I know the director have touched somewhere about the crimes in terms of sexual offense and the rapes, but in terms of the murders in Fochville is very safe, though people are still dying. In the previous year, we had 8 people killed, and then the previous financial year, we reduced it with 5. Sexual offenses, 6 were reported in the previous financial year, and then the current term, only 10 were reported with an increase of 4. We go to assault, where people beat each other. 76 people were the victims in the previous year, and then currently 79, with an increase of 3. The sexual offenses, the breakdown in terms of rape, in January 2024 to March 2024, compared to January 2025 to March 2025, 5 rapes were reported and 8 rapes with an increase of 3. The sexual assault, 1 case was reported last year, and this year 2 cases were reported with an increase of 1. Other crime categories, the hijackings and others, I'll just pass because there's no red there. If it's blue and green, it means it's a reduction. The police are doing their best. The crime in terms of property related, the house breakings and the non-residential premises, the previous year there was 9 and this year 10 were reported with an increase of 1. When you go to other serious crimes, other theft not mentioned anywhere, where cell phone are stolen, the clothes are stolen, the bicycle, the packet, the bag was stolen, 81 property was stolen with an increase of 1. Commercial crimes where people are robbed electronically, 24 cases were reported, this year was 32 with an increase of 8. Other serious crimes, 118. with an increase of 122. I know the figures may not make sense to other people, but this is the number of cases that are reported and registered. The cases that are not reported to the police, they don't have case numbers, they're not accounted for on this slide. The top cause of our crime in our community is the liquor abuse, domestic violence, and social-economic problems. Our area of concern in Kokos and Fochville. Kokos is the business robberies, house robberies, damage to properties, and assault GBH. And then in Sector 2 is attempted murder, the rape, the burglaries, and the theft general. The case flow management, I'll concentrate on March 2025. That will be number 3 on the slide. If you look on the slide, the line number 3. 230 cases were reported. 970 cases were sent to court or under investigation. 113 withdrawn before court is 23. The cases that doesn't have any movement, no suspect is unknown, is 66. The cases that were false cases that we've discovered were 3. The total case under investigation is 995. The previous cases at court was 1,237. 29 people were found guilty, 1 not guilty. The cases that were withdrawn in court were 64. The case settled otherwise 6. Not finalized at court and non-accumulative is 250. The slide on murder cases I will pass. The house robbers also I'll pass, and then I'll go to the following slide. Let's go forward. I'll give you the page. Let's go to page 33. The integrated crime and violence prevention strategy is where the police sit down with other law enforcement to plan how they're going to reduce the crime in the community. And currently the challenge we're facing with the crime that brought us here, the GBV crime, is that when the cases are open, they are Can I have your attention, please? Thank you. The community come to the police station, open cases. Cases are registered, investigated, suspect arrested. Over the weekend, the same complainant come to the charge office to withdraw the cases or go to court and want to withdraw the statement, bearing the person is a breadwinner or is the only member of the family or a senior family member. That's why on the previous slide, we had 64 cases withdrawn before court. It's those kind of cases that were discussed with the families. We've got 6 pillars where we address crime, which is an effective criminal justice system, where the police and the justice system, or then PA, the court, sit down to discuss cases. And then in the fourth quarter, 24-25, 103 suspects were arrested and brought before court. Out of those 103 suspects, 106 were convicted. And then during the reporting period, we had 3 case flow management where we discussed those cases, how do we take them to court, and the investigation were directed. On page 36, the early intervention to prevent crime and violence and promote safety. We've got programs that are dealing with the child problem within the community. One of them is at the schools, where I had the most problematic school in the province, Imfundo. We know that Imfundo is familiar with kids that are naughty. All the naughty kids are sent to Imfundo to give problems to the teachers there. Then the circular I've adopted. So I've adopted the schools. I had 12 programs in the previous quarter. And then during the quarter, we removed the Hubbly Bubbly, the Vibes, the cigarette. Is it Viper or Vapor? I don't smoke that thing, so they call it diverse days. The Vapor, thank you, man. The Vapor were removed. The cigarette were removed from the learners. And then during those school visits, 1,502 learners were reached. We addressed issues like bullying, drug abuse, peer pressure, as well as parenting by kids. So we are winning the case. I think by the following term, the school won't be the priority within our policing area. The victim support, the director have touched it in terms of supporting the victim of crime. We've got the victim empowerment, whereby we've got 37 members trained out of 65. First responder sexual offenses learning program, DV, 47 out of 65 were trained. Vulnerable children, where is a basic development program in the college, 53 out of 65 members were trained, and the program is onwards, is going forward. In terms of the place of safeties, we've got two. We've got Ariacheng in Simunye, which is 18 to 21 kilometers from here, where we take our victim to be accommodated overnight or for a week. Let's go to page 39. In terms of the pillar number 4, improved partnership in policing, we use the CPF, the traffic police, the SARS, the liquor board, all the stakeholders we mentioned earlier. And then for the police to account, we've got the ethics, the anti-corruption strategy, where the police members are taken to task to account for their action. If there is complaint against the police, that's how we deal with it. We look at the ethics and the behavior of the policemen on what or how did they address the issues concerned. Safety through environmental design. These are the issues that impede the policing. The poor roads, informal settlement, the poor street lights that aren't maintained, unemployment rate, substance abuse, unmarked houses and street numbers, and the long grasses that are not cut or being managed by the municipalities. The last pillar is pillar number 6, active public and community participation, whereby the CPF structures is developed in all the communities. In Greenspark, we've got a sub-forum. We've got sub-forum also in Kokosi, responsible for 61 and 62. We've got a forum with the farmers. Then we've got a victim-friendly system. The 6 volunteers with an auxiliary social worker. The facility operates 24 hours, whereby we have members on standby. We've got the community patrollers and the Sabagana patrollers assisting us, as well as the youth desk that bring the social ills of the community to the station.
The chairperson of the CPF, Connie Biekes, who will also make a presentation, just a general appreciation of and observation of the police precinct, and also in relation to the Domestic Violence Act compliance. And then afterwards, we'll allow Councillor Sifako to also make an input, then we'll have a broader deliberation. Over to you and welcome. We did get your apology that you are still at work. Maybe let's start with the councillor and then you will follow. Councillor Sifako. It's not working. Try again.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all the members of the committee. Let me welcome the reports, Chair, by both the Director and the Colonel. Chair, I won't be long. My inputs, I think some were covered on the reports, especially by the Colonel. But Chair, I think there's a great need of family guidance and strong family structures that should be built by our community. Our communities assisted by the social work programs, especially on the issue that was highlighted by the Colonel on his report when he touched the issue of cases that are been withdrawn by the victims due to family issues, that families will sit down and decide to withdraw those cases. So I think there's a vacuum there that we need to close, especially by the social worker programs to our communities to deal with that problem. Chair, also our counseling centers, I think we should have such centers in our communities, places of safety for our victims. I know we have the green doors, of which they are operating within our communities, but when you go to those green doors centers, they are not capacitated enough. When a victim reaches a green door during the night, in the middle of the night, there's no place to sleep in there. They do not have sufficient space for children to be kept there. So I think also there should be also some sort of assistance that we give and help. The NGOs dealing with GVF Plus must get government support, and priority should also be given to these centers as the government passes their budget, so that our communities be assisted. My last point, Chair, I did not hear Colonel speak of resources in their police stations. I know some police stations, they lack lots of resources, especially the vans. I know one in Wedela, you'd go there and report a crime, they will tell you they only have one van, so you will wait for hours to be attended to because there's no van. So those are the things that maybe they should be also looked to, because they also play a role in fighting this pandemic in our communities. The gap, Chair, the vacuum between our police and the courts, I think Chair, there was a case that we attended here in Fochville, whereby the victim had committed a crime somewhere in Ransanke, came and stayed in Raffon. Okay. Whereby, when I say there's a vacuum between our police and our courts, maybe I don't know how can we close that gap, because there was a court case that we attended here in Fochville, whereby this perpetrator killed a young lady, of which it was not his first crime. But when the case was finalized and the community had a petition that says he must not come back to this community. So we were very disappointed by the verdict, because what the magistrate said, if you're saying you do not want him in that community, then the lawyer must then submit an alternative address, of which that doesn't even assist the community, because when you say you must submit an alternative address, of which you'd submit an address in Kutsong, you'll do the same thing. So it doesn't really address the issue of the same crime. So, Chair, those are my inputs, and thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson of the CPF.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the chairperson of Fochville CPF. As the CPF of Fochville, we are working hand in hand with our SAPS members. We are in good relations with our community, but we need more patrollers on the ground to combat crime. Currently, we're going to have a project in July in Extension 99 where we will be painting the house numbers to assist the police members in assisting the community. Domestic violence in Fochville is a concern. The victims need counseling, and the green doors are not fully operational, and that is a big concern for us also because we need to keep our community, the vulnerable, safe. The children in a domestic violence needs counseling and needs to be safe. So there must be also a place for children to be safe during a domestic violence. GBV members, we got to get a database of problematic addresses to keep those victims safe so that we know when we get a name, we know exactly who that person will be and we can assist that person or persons in that house. The elderly also are victims of domestic violence, especially now during the SASA time when they get their money and the children took the money and leave them alone. I think we also have to, during the domestic violence, also have to concentrate on our elderly people, the vulnerable of our community, because they don't have a voice to stand up for them. And we as the Fochville CPF and with SAPS, we will be those people's voice during these difficult times. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the brief inputs that were made, and they are quite welcome. I think the issues relating to resources, we know that generally across the province, we do have a problem of lack of resources in many ways. But of course, we do find some police stations better resourced than others. But we are hoping that it's a matter that across the board will be fully addressed. There's a matter that we also have noted as the committee as it relates to Public Works, which is a national department, which is the one responsible for police stations. It's a matter that we have undertook that we are going to address in terms of sorting out the infrastructure of police stations, especially the one that the MMC have actually addressed, Councillors Fako, the one on Wedela. So I'm going to allow members of the committee to make reflections, whilst members of the stakeholders in the gallery will be noting their points. So I will start from my extreme with Member Bosch up to that side. Just reflections and observations. If there are questions, let's also address them. Thank you. Start over, Member Bosch.
Thank you, Chairperson. I just have one question specifically, especially because this is concerning GBV. The panic buttons that was rolled out, is it working or not? Because we're getting conflicting messages saying that the contract was not paid and it's not working. And in a situation like this, where victims really do need support as quick as possible, we need to know whether these panic buttons are working and whether the police is able to respond to it at this stage, if there is a crisis.
Member Evans.
Thank you, Chair. We went to the Fochville police station, and I can say that the station is in good hands with our colonel at the helm. Thank you, sir. The VEC was warm. Although small, it was actually warm compared to other stations where we walked in and did oversight. Your recommendations, sir, absolutely spot on. To the department, vehicles are always an issue. It's always an issue. This colonel is doing the right thing, but there's not enough visible policing in places like, I hope I'm going to say the name right, Kokosi. So in both your sectors, 1 and 2, but Kokosi seems to stand out for me. And your spaza shops, I see there's 160. How many of those spaza shop owners are legally in the country, as well as your scrap metal dealers? It would be interesting to know. You also mentioned that your shelter is about 18 kilometers away from here. That's sad. It really is sad, because you seem to be doing an outstanding job when it comes to your GBV, but the shelters are too far. Is there any chance of the department looking into that, assisting? Your CPF chairperson, thank you. Thank you for saying that you will be the voice of the voiceless. I really, really appreciate that. And lastly, the colonel also made mention of, well, we asked questions around gangsterism earlier on. Thank you for curbing it. I wish the department would copy what is done here, because hulle kry pak sla, die gangsters. I wish the department wants to copy what is done here to our other police stations. Hulle kry pak sla. When I was young, it used to be called laikies. So yes, if the laikie system can be implemented again. Other than that, I'm happy. Thank you so much for doing what you are doing and serving our people of the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Greetings to everyone. While we acknowledge the 69 compliance rating, Chair, but we must be resolute on the 100% goal without fail. Also, Chair, the absence of the registered tracking members who fail to comply with national instruction is deeply troubling. If there is no record, then there is no accountability, Chair. Chair, when it comes to the issue of lack of access to sign language interpret, I feel that it must be rectified urgently. We can't have victims with disability that are sidelined, Chair. Chair, as we move forward, we call on the SAPS to provide a clear action plan with time frame on how these compliance gaps will be closed, especially around vehicle readiness inspection frequently and internal accountability. I will also recommend that follow-ups compliance audit be conducted quarterly, not annually, Chair. We must keep the pressure on other full compliance in achievement, Chair. Also, Chair, I would like to applaud the CPF. I normally say those are the hardworking without even getting paid properly, some without even getting stipend, Chair. So big up to CPF. Councillor, nna ha ke understand hore why re tlameha re dule re na le mathata a mabone le jwang. Maponesa a sebetsa ha bohloko ka lebaka la hore ho lefifi jwang ke bo boholo, empa re na le tsona di-tender tsa di-grass cutter tse leng hore ba patalwa ha re tsebe ba dutse kae ha ntse ba patalwa kapo ba pakeng ha re tsebe. Re na le tsona di-tender tse lokisang mabone mara ho lefifi makeisheneng a rona. So councillor, take it upon yourself hore o lwanele community ya hao, o thuse le seponesa hore o etse bonnete ba hore mabone a teng le bojwang ha boyo. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. In terms of Pillar 2, which is about early prevention, early intervention to prevent crime and violence and promote safety, the report is on page 36 of your report, Colonel. While acknowledging that we had 12 programs by Adopt a Cop, but I noticed that we had only one school search, even though we had reached a number of learners, but I think we need to have more of the school searches so that we totally discourage some of the learners from bringing dangerous weapons and drugs to the school. So we may need to increase the number of, but also see there were 0 dialogues with the learners. So I think we need to also encourage that we have more of those so that we encourage our learners and have discussions with them so that we inculcate good behavior and not only what was encouraged by member events. Konjele Bitsang, yeah, yona leyo. So that you have more dialogue more than what was member events encouraging. So I think from the small interaction that we had with the station commander, there is hope that the community of this area of Fochville and Kokosi are in good hands under leadership. Keep it up, and with the support of the CPF, we're encouraged that we're going to have more work being done to prevent crime in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Colonel, thanks for the report that you gave to the committee, or to this meeting rather. And as mentioned by the Chair, that we are still new, and having read your report, I think you are on course, we are on track. This community relies on you and your team to keep up the good work, and there's still room, of course, for improvement. Resources will always be a limitation. Some it's beyond your reach or your control. But so far, in reading what you are reading, I think you are trying your level best. Working with the CPF, I'm particularly impressed by page 41, pillar 6, active public community participation. The activities of CPF, the victim-friendly facility. I wish you could have had a bit of capacity, because we went to the station in our oversight, that room where when you're taking us through the social work aspect of things, the victim-friendly aspect of things. I wish you had bigger facility or bigger space to do work, but the fact that it exists, because in some police stations it's not there. And the patrollers, you know, the number of patrollers quite present, not yet there, but quite present. I mean, there are 30 patrollers to deploy to 14 schools. So yeah, my focus was just on this amongst many other things. But big up to you and your colleagues. Please continue to strive to improve, to protect and save. CPF, big up. You will get support, I think, from the community and the colleagues from SAPS. Member Evans has covered me. Yilwan Bandasa Yilwan, so that things get a bit better. You know, coming here, I could see the kind of community that's here. So there's special focus and special resources and dedication that must be given to the kind of area. Ikokos, ne? Yeah. But otherwise, colleagues, we are on track. Sian Kutaza, please continue doing the work that you are doing. Sabesi Kona Son Niko will keep on coming and assisting. We don't promise heaven and earth, but we will be there just like we're here now, at least to hear what is it that's going on and how do we help, how do we lend a help. Community safety, the department is also here, so at least they have a sense of what's going on. They will take it back and reflect as to how we are going to be assisted as a station. Thank you very much.
Chair, sorry man, I noticed that there is no youth desk
Zero.
according to the report. Icon. Yeah,
It's
can we
zero.
make sure that it's elected as a matter of agents? If you can give us a date actually, when it's going to be elected.
I thought it's only my report that has zero. They wanted to say 10 or something.
No, it's your opportunity now as the stakeholders to raise your inputs. Our intention is to make sure that a number of people do raise their hands, so we're going to have a timer. So you must start with your most important point, you know, and our timer will be set at 2 minutes so that we can increase the number. So please remember your number. We'll start this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, let's start with 6 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 at the back, 12 at the back. So we've got 12, and then there's last hand, Umamala, number 13. Okay, so let's start. So 2 minutes. So you start with your most important point. So don't greet, we have greeted, we are fine, we are all healthy, we are okay. So that you don't waste your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson. Mine is just shortly. We are having a problem as Fochville community in Kokosi about the crime. We've been presenting this issue for a very long time. We need a police station inside of Kokosi because Kokosi.
Maybe let's introduce ourselves.
Okay,
and where
thank
we
you,
come
thank you,
from.
Chairperson.
Yeah, I think
I'm Franz Mutsumi from Kokosi Fochville. We are requesting to our leaders, we need a police station. The police station is being appointed in even the place where the police station must be. But until now, we've been waiting. Because the station of Fochville, they cannot accommodate the crime that is there in Fochville with only 2 vehicles. Every time when you call the police, they will be telling you that we are only using 1 vehicle for the whole Fochville. Number 2, there is no vehicles for police in Fochville. Every time there is no cars. So we are requesting cars for police so that they can perform their duties. Station Commander, I want to agree to say, as we are the community of Fochville, we don't know you. That one we need to agree. We don't know you. You've been supposed to do the ward committee meetings as previous station commander was doing, so that we can know you, because there is a lot of crime that is happening in Fochville. So we need you to be visible to our community so that we can work with you to stop the crime. We have people that are supposed to assist you in working against crime. Lastly, Chairperson, the last one, issue of patrollers and green beans, Mapanyaza. The previous MEC, Faith Mazibuko, she was always saying patrollers must remove from the town. They must come to the community. We only see patrollers and green beans in town, which means the crime is only in town. In the community, they are not there. But the purpose is all about community safety. So we need them to come back to the locations so that they can be there and look against crime. I thank you.
Number two.
Sanbonani, I'm Yonela Vimba. My point is what, Kuti? There are some cases that are reported but not recorded. One. There are cases that I know of that are reported but not recorded. One. Then two, it's what in compliance of police officers, because most times what they do is we only see them on Thursday when they do that operation of illegal shops and things. And what we noticed as the community is that they only go there when they are hungry, when they go there to take bribes. They only take bribes each and every time. We've seen that as the community. And three, so what do we do again? I'm asking, is the question, is it wrong for me to take a video of a police officer? Maybe that police officer is doing something wrong or so, because each and every time when we do that, we get intimidated or we get moved or things like that. I thank you.
Afternoon or good evening. My name is Nethemba from Wedela. I came from Wedela in Ward 11. So the only thing that I can say is that I don't have much to say, because when you are here, we are getting happy because we are legislature, you are the members of the parliament, and then we are saying that if we can give you a message, you can go and give the ministers, the one that is above you, the consent of the community. So that's why I'm glad that you are here. I'm happy that you are here. The only thing that I can say to you is that, can you please, when you sit there at the parliament or you meet the ministers or all the people that are above to you, can you try to consider the thing that people are dying on the ground here? The only thing that I have noticed is that if you can consider and take a look the thing of the death sentence, then you can just consider. The only thing that I see that the people are killing, criminals are killing people here. And also, with my understanding is that those people that are killing people, they are afraid to die. So if you can try to talk and manage that, if those people, we can try to bring back at least a little bit of 2 years, a death sentence, I think those killings, they can be just lower. And also, and government and the ministers, they can try to give the powers to the police. Because at the end of the day, people are just undermining the police. The police, they cannot able to do the job. At the end of the day, the laws of this country, they just hold the police on hold, just where they cannot even try to do their jobs properly. So that's why I say, if you stay there and talk to the ministers and talk to the people that are above you, just consider that I would rather as a member of the community to be killed by the police than to be killed by the criminals. Because the criminals, they don't have mercy, they just kill. At least police, they'll have mercy somewhere and somewhere there. So that's why I say thank you. Just take it to consideration. Thank you very much.
Mandibulise. Igama lami ngusithembile ifani ngunqulo from Ewedela Ward 20. Ndimiswa indawo enye kuphela indawo yamapatrola asebenza nzima kakhulu. But kukhona ukuqhaya lokuthi because basebenza nzima sibancoma ngekuthi basebenza kanzima kodwa akhonto bayifumanayo, which is true, akhonto bayifumanayo. singabahlali basewedela we form together crime prevention esiyesazenzela yona ukuthi must protect indawo esihlala kuzo ngokunokwethu, because anything iqalayo before ifike emapoliseni iqala pha ukuthi siyi community. All information ifunyanwa sithi siyi community, we know exactly ukuthi bekusenzeka ntoni next door, bekusenzeka ntoni next door. We form ukuthi as together crime prevention we will fight crime ngokunokwethu ngaphandle kokuthembela emapoliseni. Emapoliseni so sasisisa information, but futhi sisilwa ngamandla ukuthi singayenzi imob justice. Sisebenze kunye, ndifuna ukuthi sibe nengxaki where apho indlu nendlu ibibetha imali to pay amapatrola ebesizenzela wona, where find ukuthi nala awe CPF amapatrola end up engazazi noba makahlale phayana na. And sibe nengxaki enkulu when comes kulonto leyo. Aba bantu xa belimala they don't identify as a CPF. Baba bahlelwa ingozi abekho registered, abekho nakwenye into, abaveli nakwenye into, and into leyo ke amapolisa asogogisa ngayo. Although singenzanga nothing wrong esiyenzileyo, but sibanika all information. They find information from going to get a crime prevention, but aqhubeka amapolisa athi you are not registered. You are not supposed to do what you are doing now. Nina ningabahlali. Now into endifuna ukuyithetha nje endimela yona apha mama, please, okay ndiyabulela, please amapatrola tata kaniwajongeleni into, Nkosi.
Nkosi. Number 5.
Dumelang bagolo. Nna lebitso la ka ke Boutin Ndlovu. Ntho ke tlo e buang ke tlo nna mokhutswane fela. Ke na le bothata man mo toropong ka youth ya rona e rekisetswang dithethefatse ke ma Nigeria. O ya re ntse re shebile. Ntate station commander ke kopa o tisele tso la hao ko strateng se le sa ofisiane ya ANC re bitsa ko Nigeria ke mo di drugs di mathanteng ene re tlola re bona mapanyatsa le di patrollers ba patrolla ka mo mara re so utlwe le ga iwan o tone ke ole re motshore ka shwantlha ya di drugs. Ne ke kopa fela rone o tisele tso strata se le sa PCO sa office ya ANC ke kopa o ke o se phenye kolle o se phenye kollisise ke a lebo.
Number 6.
I think that's number 6, comrade. Comrade, Nake Kemanyama Galivizo. I'm the member of the ANC. Even though the chair you didn't win, or rappellers at trauma for our second commander, Silo Mobani, Didi Maposa. Comrade, Nagamudua Greenspark. Kenale complain je perijetar. In Greenspark na councillor, but our councillor Akibon Meragwai. As we have one guy Lori stand up for Greenspark to make sure that the community is safe, which is the guy is Patrick and is getting nothing. And we shall, if you guys are not taking the note, you can just do something about this man can benefit. And also I wish you another thing, our station commander, I wish must palangable honor. At least all these developers, our people are gonna play a ruler, but there is a land all over. And Maponisa Fochville are doing well. As we hear the station commander, they catch somebody else tomorrow because the case is Cholwa, which is very pain because of the same person do the same thing as the case of Cholwa. I wish you know, comrade, if you Lord allow down or one note, whatever mentioned, as I said, if me must follow on, like now myself, there's a developer. I get too close because of X no quala, must follow other why you quit. Gefela namo comrade.
Number 7.
Kalebwa Medula Stulo. Nagana litse tharo fela
the question we asked you. The first question, maybe.
Introduce yourself.
Okay, Ntate Mofokeng, Ward 14, Fochville. My first question is related to the station commander. You mentioned about the vehicles, but maybe the percentage, maybe in numbers to say maybe 20, we have a shortage maybe of 5 out of 20. I think maybe it will sound a little bit better. The second question, or also the comment, is that really we need an assistant in terms of the taverns, Chair. Really, as Kokosi, as Fochville, Renale Matata, in particular, Abana, Banwan, Juala, till late. We don't know whether the taverns, Dikuala, Nakomang, we find that it's very, very young kids are drinking alcohol. We don't want the situation is, I think, Eastern Cape to affect us also here in Merafo. We need to act against that because really, the same issue of the drugs, also we have a serious challenge in terms of the drugs. We need really an assistant more. Then my last question is the issue of the drone. Colonel drone. Because in most cases, how stock theft, the main challenge will struggle a drone. We'll find that there must be application first to the district, from the district before the authorization. Then also the process, or now they will come and search. The day is gone. Then we need assistance in issuing to Galebo.
Thank you. Number 8.
Good evening. Let me take this opportunity to thank the opportunity of speaking with the leadership before us. The one who's speaking is Comrade Karabo Moliko, Merafon City Executive Mayor in waiting. The one who will put the light and make the city to shine. It's a dream that will be turned into reality. All right, I'm going to be very short, Chairperson. Number one, it's not the first time that we are asking for this issue police station in Kokosi. Kokosi, as the developing township, we have requested that from the previous MEC to the then MEC. Now I'm referring this before the committee, legislature, and the new station commander. We have a problem of being a township as non-police station. Sometimes even these incidents that are reported on happen throughout the night. So you cannot walk at the time to police station. Maybe if the police station was in the township, we were not even going to complain about the issue of lack of vehicles or something like that, but we're just going to be a walking distance. That's one. Two, the issue of the scrapyards. They are not serving purpose, these scrapyards that are there in our townships. They are just even escalating these criminal elements that we complaining about. So my view or my take on that one is that if maybe we can have a law that says we must all go and close these scrapyards because they are not serving purpose. And most of those scrapyards are operated by foreign nationals. You find maybe 2 or 3 in town, they are Nigerians who are operating that. In the township, the guys from Mozambique, the guys from Zimbabwe, and also Nigerians. So that is where most of our household belongings ended up going into, and then they create a market for that. So if maybe through legislature we can have that power to say, now we are going as a community to close permanently those scrapyards, I think it will serve people somewhere, somehow. Number 2, I'm also interested, not knowing through...
That's the last point. No?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm also interested, but not knowing it through the percentages, but as per numbers, station commander. How many police officers do you have in your station, the number? And then how many vans do you have in your station, the number? Why I'm asking that question? When Ms. Faith Mazibuko, who was in Imfundo Secondary School one day, promised more boots on the ground. The police, the little resources that you have for now, these guys are doing a great job. That we also need to take note of. But re kopa o tseba hore na sentle o sebetsa ka bontate le bomme ba bakae ba itelletseng o sebeletsa motse wa Kokosi. So that when ha itswile ile di plasing re tsebe hore re setse ka ba bakae ba setse mo locationeng. Thank you.
Number 10.
Che, man ke kopa hore ke hlakise mo tabeng ya GBV ne. Ke tla kena ha site
Ka lebitso
ke lefa Ramabeletsa ne. Ne se ke le leveleng ya hore to address challenge e facing le yona ka firearm. But thanks hore the colleagues staka ne. Ile ka dula le bona fatshe ba bang advisor. And then ono tshwantse by now ha ke sa le o mara ke tsamaile le ba itseng. Wa understand? But ke santsane ke ba salute. Wa bona this thing ya GBV ne. E teng mar ina le froto ka hare. E batla e shebisiswe hantle. Ke tlo bua site la ka ne. Ene ke a bona kare site ya ka nkare ke o mong o kare molao wa ke reipuwa ka molao. Wa understand? And but it's fine. But the tlamorao tsa teng ha di tlo ba monate sometimes. Ho tjena ha re bua ka di GBV ra gona re le bontate re be under pressure tlasa bafumahadi to impress them. Go banka re ba be leveleng a ba e batlang ba re kentse tlasa kgatello. E ka ba dikoloto e ka ba di eng ebile I'm one of them belong hore I was even redule fatshe ho etswe divorce. And then how it's a divorce because of Obata Koloi, I end up doing that. 3 years down the line, at Samam Sadwaka for consultation, I had a lawyer, I had a lawyer for 3 weeks, ki blokiwe. Kan siwan tunyaka ki hailen kele mung. And then a huge house, kitsuile kadiapar. And then I've done everything. Kuri, I've neseki bona hore solution e swantseki address. Hagi kena karantwele. Kurki bono or ke apply firearm. Understand? Of which and then I was about to do that. Now, divorce and agreement. Because of under pressure, ki dikoloton ke keta ha hantlu o batla smart life. 3 years down the line, o tlile le lawyera and then ka ipotsa re lawyera na e kgona serve the protection order na e tle tlo ntsha ka tlu. And then when Risala Morao issue ya lawyer, go lawyer mo ne le teng e tswile go admit for 3 weeks. My wife le no la for 3 weeks. Now, ke tswa protection order ha fitla ke fitlela my wife sa le teng ke rekile dijo. Ke betswa ka protection order e reng ke ex husband ke a sokodisa ka tlung. Fela mosadi a nsile ka tlung. Haka.
2 minutes.
Fine.
Lastly.
What?
Yeah.
It's a hard tswile ke tswile. Finishara, it was not even part of your divorce. How Swansiki Fumana, same lawyer, Hana Erikiabana. Okay, fine, Kiatama. Now, the fourth divorce, degree of divorce, e amendi wa juang ka bolpene ko court. Ne? Hori ntu now ya ka se rekisiwa, ntu ka now se le marketing. Ne? I rekisiwa jwang ke sa thole 50% ya ka because I ke haile ke le one ntlu e ne. Now and then
all right.
This thing is
okay. Go for last 30 seconds ba.
All right ne. Yeah. So ne sentse ke yona ntho ne ke batlang o e hlakisa mo hore no ha se ra ripiwa bontate ka molao ne re batho re tswetse jwalo ka mang le mang but property ya ka is still gonna fight for property ya ka. Because the next thing what ke di sie di finishara ke di sie le bana but the same court ne le maintenance ke ganishitswe about 6.5 ka maintenance ke sa consultiwa lo consultiwa ganti molao rona o apply jwang rona because I'm expecting or I must be called ke itle ke tlo debate hore no man ke gona bukana ha ke gone bukana so ke ona that thing e re hatelang.
It's noted. Number 10.
Ke tshepo timatsime wa buang ke dula mo Greenspark o 21 ke tla qala ka e ya le councilor ke kopa le councilor la o 21 le a sebetsa na le a sebetsa le councilor la o 21 le councilor la o 21 di report tsa rona o etsa eng o kila ga etsetsang ho tloa e sale a kgetho o na le 15 years a tshwere Greenspark ge mo reportela ke dula strateng sa o qetela mane e trata se ka icon ko ke dula ka masepa mehleng ha motho ga ke a rwa kana ke bua Sotho ke na taba le ene maga nhlompe le nna ke tla mo hlompha ene ha ke re supentho ke ena e tsetse ngata molao wa South Africa o ruta batho ba tswang ka ntle kapa o ruta ma South African ene ha le parlamenteng se le sa tsebe ditlhoko tsa rona ka sheno nna ke supa NPA maponesa a sebetsa MPA mane dikhoto ha o shejwe khotho tseno ha holo yane ya Fochville e shejwe gona ho etswang ka ga khotho eo hona le mathata ka ga khotho eo hobane go sebetsa barutegi jwale ba futsana ha ba tsebe ho ya diagenteng ha ba tsebe ho ya kae ha ba tsebe o kena kae so le councilor ha le tlembo le tlo ga ba ditaba tsa gona tsa o 21 o na le 15 years ma o ge etseditse ha o na le meeting a so go tshwakelwe e sa le o tswa dikgethong le ka o tswa vote ha so tlo go metsi a tsamaka ga matlo a rona ka mane nka nna ka ntsha dinyeki tsena mo founung ya ka le shebe difoto masepaka ga ntwa ka mono ke tlameha ke hla ha o ka tsamaya fela pula ena metsi a tletse ntlo ka ofela ha ke botsa ba re ha wa nkgetha maga parlamente ha ntla tle sebeletsa bo mang melao e entse immente ka ofela le molao o tlo bua ke ntateo ha o ka sheba melao ka ofela e sebeletsa matswa ka ntle ho bua ka di-drugs o bua kae drugs tseo ba a tseba ona di tsuwang le ma-next wa rona mo diteng ha ba tle maponesana a tseba ke gore ba lo ntshuwa mang bane ba khoto bang ka tjotjo ba jwa le bona
okay
jwale okay ha re tle mo ntate ha re bitsetswe le councilor ka la moo
ke tla
e solofue taba ya rona re tle mo hape re tle mo
ba ne re dumelane hore re tlo bua for 2 minutes so o buile
okay danki ntate mara molao ha o pente motho wa South Africa
thank you pa number 11
le bomme ba ska ba hlwa dihloho ba tsebe re ba nna le go
number 11 okay
Dumelang bagolo dumelang bagolo lebitso la ka ke Gladys Baloi okay
o ka continue
okay lebitso la ka ke Gladys Baloi ke tswa ke le Women of God Foundation
how many are there
ke NPO e berekang ka GBV le women empowerment le men empowerment question ya ka ko presentation ya station commander ke gore yes the cases tsone they are there okay okay the cases tsone they are there but not recorded ke dumelana le ene ke shebile number ya gage e ko tlase ya di rape le di sexual offenses ke dumelana le ene because rona re organization e le goreng we are on the ground we do door to door on daily basis we also do have for an example family restoration services that we are dealing with families so hantse re etsa door to door through our victim supporters help, which is a remote Lasa Department, their social development under VEP department, Kokrugasdorp. So reza musebitu ya reza door to door, and then we have our center based Kokoko Siko X Station 4. Honale container e green ke mo re sebeletsang. So the cases tsa gage ke dumelana le tsone why because of many victims ba feel gore help for bone eta ganyane hanze re ba sheba re ba botsa why o sa lo reporta ba re blella ga dikre there is more nkebe ba khona go ya go lo reporta and then di cases tsa bone di tsaelwa kotsi nkebe re krile more numbers tsa GBV and then thongwe e botlhoko ka GBV re ka e bona e le di numbers but in reality ya destroy It destroy bomme, it destroy bontate. Speaking from experience, of course, as a survivor of GBV. So when coming happy to secondly, ne ke botsa gore ana ba etsa eng go etsa gore di case tse batho they are coming on board. If ba bona gore cases so file teng khale dutse motho a teng wa etsa, and are they engaging with stakeholders? For an example, ya go questioning ya ka elatelang o buile number ya di taverne, a bua number ya di scapyard, but ha bui number ya di NPO. And the NPO re teng ko locationing, I think ko series 6 gona le NPO e berekang ka GBV, which is ke ya rona Women of God Foundation. Gona le re dirile bereka ka bana, gona le tse berekang ka di old age, gona le vokane le tsone. So ha ba ka engage le rona batho ba go on the ground ba ta khona gore re khone go berekisa. And then potso ya ka ya dilase ke ya VFR. Ke ne ke kopa a kitse ke khale ke sa go police station. A kitse gore di VFR facilities di buildiwa ka tsele feng, di recommendiwa gore ebe building e yang, but ele inyane. And then issue ke nang lone ke bench ele e fale ke le ka bona ha ne ke kapile go taking victim. So a ke re bua gape tshireletso di victim tsa rona le confidentiality. A gona confidentiality mo le because obviously a o dutse mo bankeng ele gona le queue e yang ka mo police station. So ne re kopa gore ba etse gore ebe a little bit private gore re gone gore ba le safety ya di victims tsa rona. Thank you.
Thank you. Number 13 memo. The last one from this side.
No, amen. Kina mafisaki.
Number 13.
Kitulako Tarantal 41.
We are young prizes. Okay, you can. Number 13, and then those. Okay, maybe those who are coming from the tent by Kai, but there are 4. No, they said there are 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. Nna lebitso la ka ke Monica Dlamini, ke tswa ko extension 1 Kokosi. Ke ema mo because ke tlo supporta the statement tsa gore tshwantse go be le police station ko location. There's one day ke fita ko playing ground do. Ha ke le ko yone ke a bona maponisa a tletse ko. It was during the day. There was no a counselor, it was only batho le bone. And then ra bontshana ka yone taba ya crime gore re ka ifokotsa ka tsela e jwang. Ya ba taba ya gore crime gore fokotsege ko location e tlo ba ha ile hore gona le police station ka mo gare ga location. Why? Because if ilore me wa shapiwa and then a tshwantse a tlo palama taxi a tle ko toropong a tlo leya charge go ba too much for yena, because remember ka mo motho o shapilwe ka mo tshwantse a tlo palama public transport ka mo hana tšhelete ya go ko toropong. So itse re bontshana le maponisa a ka ba botsa ke re okay, how about gore le crime e fokotsege le re agele a police station? Ba mputsitsa gore ba re ko kae ka re hone mo di grandong tse re eming ko tsonetse next to the library we can build a police station. So what I didn't like that day ke ga ba re corona ba re there is no budget to build a police station. Ke re how can police station is important? I mean important mo ile everybody why deserve. Ha go sa tlo ba le budget ke ntho e tsuang jwa, but go end up ile gore ba re blela gore it will never happen. So the question is like ke utlile go bua ka youth desk mo ha iteng because our youth ya rona enkelwa ko class. Ke re go bone ke re okay, if for basadi ba shapileng kapa bone bontate ba shapileng gore e bankana go fitla ko police station, how about e agiwe because the youth high apply mosebetsi e tshwantse certified dipampiri tsa bone. So imagine o sokola go lo etsa pampiri eo, o sokola le go a toropong go lo etsa certified, then youth e kala e ba etsa crime e ngata because ha re banke to the consider. Ha re khone go ba etsetsa dintho tsa bone di be gaufi le bone. go na le lepodisa le mpoditseng gore ke na le bana nang ke buela bana ba mang ke re nna ke na le bana ba godile but I'm speaking on behalf ya bana kaofela ba mo lekeišeneng. And then ha e tlo kopana crime gore gape e fokotsege ha e no fokotsega because like ha re bitsa koloi ya maponisa it took so long time because ha di nyane till motho o victimizitsweng motho a mo victimizileng a we ka yena moraro tlogela case ena. So it won't be a case because it took a long time. A victim e robetse mole e shapilwe then till motho a mo entseng ntho a ipuela ko ene gore no I'll give you 100,000 or 50,000 tlogela case eo. So is whereby the crime e gola because e no ba taba gore monna o witsa re ke thole ka speed because the police were not there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks,
bye.
ma'am.
All right.
All right. Let's go back to there. Yeah, she can start, then we'll come and finish up this side.
Nna lebitso la ka ke Portia Molobi. Ke dula mo Greenspark. Ke ne ke botsa ka taba tsena tsa di protection order. Ya ka go buile gore di tsaya 24 hours gore di fitlhe ko motho o mo tshwarisitseng. Le ke botsa ka taba ena ya gore na maponisa a tsamaisang di protection order ana le right ya gore ba founele motho o mo tshwarisitseng and then ba sa mo save immediately ka protection order. Ne ke batla go botsa ka taba eo because of they discuss it on the phone before they can ba ka mo fa summon motho o. Ke ne ke batla go itse gore ana ntho eo e right ka maponisa na because maponisa ona a re faila ona ga tlhekefetswa but mone ba maponisa ba ya because motho ke tshomi ya gage ha motho le tshomi ya gage a bona gore at least protection order ke yena ke le bitso la tshomi ya ka because ke tseba tshomi ya ka le bana ba gage then I won't give her of him protection order eo. Ke batla go itse anong nna ke kry ya station commander go reporta case e ko station commander because ha ke ya ko station commander ke fitlhele go station commander ba re ha seyo maponisa ha re sebeletse sentle bathong ba modimo e ka se re o filwe molao gore tsamaya go fana ka protection order wena o bosantse o boela ko morago o bua pele o discussa pele le tshomi ya gago because o bone bitso la gagwe mo protection order ke kopa station commander assembly because le rona ga tlhekefetso. Thank you.
Thank you, ma. Okay, not when I know. Yes. Yeah, then go tla follow me wa Katibe Red.
Dumelang government. Dumelang setšhaba sa Greenspark. Ka lebitso ke Leeto Patrick Mokhatshane. I was the candidate of the ANC and I'm still serving the community. So ke na le di challenge ntate chairperson le councillor ya rona mo. We can't even see him ayo because nalena we like a dog and a cat. A rutlwani nalena because I'm doing his job. Potso ya ka ya pele ntate. Rona mo Greenspark ha re kgathalwe. We are always behind. Re bona fela dintho tse di etsahala. So nane ke botsa ntate wa molao ntho e tse etswa jwang na. Potso ya ka ya bobedi. Re na le police station e Fochville. But ha re batla maponisa othi divene hadiyo empa divene di robala kae malapeng a batho ba sebetsang police station. So hadiyo jwang divene di robala mo maponisa robalang teng. So now I'm not happy ka ntho e tsalang ka Greenspark. Ke bua ka laboraro hona le tuck shop ene thujwa ka slaps. Ki bua ka palo ya slaps. Ha ke tsebe ke bontate bana ba ba kae bana tshwere di firearm. Ba keni ka force mo tuck shopong eo ba nkela mapakistani tšhelete disikarete and so forth. Ga le reportile maponisa go the maponisa a ile ana plekeng tse ding. So re batla tseba gore na batho ba shwe pele na pele maponisa a tla. We've got challenge mo makeisheneng. Ha re batla maponisa hayo go thi divene ha diyo mar divene di ropala malapeng a batho.
Okay, last point.
Okay. Ya di lasi morena. Harina di Apollo mo Greenspark. Gale re kopa di Apollo. Di Apollo tsa rona di ne le teng, di ne le 6. So they take 5 ba isa ko Kokosi. Ba di sitse ko Kokosi di Apollo tse netle tlamele di tlemo. Greenspark ya rona ile fifi. Re a kenelwa, re a la tsebe re etse jwang. Ha re sa tseba re lelo ho mang. Le di shurishi since re di reportile last week. Ona le mikuku ka kwa batho. Ha ba tsebe ba ka etsa jwang since di toilet tsa mikuku di tletse. Ha re tsebe re etse jwang. Ha re sa tseba re lela ho mang. But re na le councilor le golang le sa sebetseng.
Thank you.
Ke a leboha.
Me. Yeah.
Family kaofela ke a lebediga. Ke kopa go bua le family kaofela mo Greenspark. Twekilela kilela batho ba dula mo makukung ona mo tsileng. Batho ba sena le mantlo ka hantle ka mona. Ena ke kopa batho ba dula mo tsileng. Ena ke na le mothata hape ne ke ditsa masepala gore a tlo nkiletsa meter banka pompo ya ka ba e butswa Sontaga. Ena taba ke eng gape ha ke kopa masepala batho ba le ba tsemeile ke kopa le nthuse batswadi ba ke le kopa ha ke da nix mara bua le lona fela. Amen.
Thank you, ma. Kokomorao, I didn't know you. Are you from the tent? Okay.
Dumelang bagolo.
La re ropa ya no. Tsonte re tlo ke tlo kopa re decide hore ke mang o tlo buang he. Ibe 2. Okay, bua he. 2.
Dumelang bagolo. From Kokosi Extension 5 5034. Nanto ke tlolang ka yone ko MC ya rona ke crime ya rona e tsalang mo ko Fochville ko Kokosi. Ntwe re shota ka maponisa. Re shota ka maponisa ene maponisa rona gona lo etsa la crime e re gonang go e bona so ma re tshaba o bua ka taba maponisa lo re keng ba ja le bona. Rona re tsama dipoto MC ya rona re gona di bona ntho tse kaofela. Ke a bona ba bua mara ke rona re gonang go di bona ntho tse kaofela. Ene no ra shwa le rona ga tshaba. Ntwe re shota ka maponisa. Ene ne re kopa le police station o kasi iseng ko tropong. Nako ngwa ga ko tropong re fitla re bea mathata rona ba re blella ka di transporto eng ha re fitla kwa o kasi ba cheka bone ka koloi tsa melao. Ba ja menate di KFC ko kae go bua fela nnete. Thank you.
Second last. No, you know you can't do that. No, but you can't do that. Even if you like, even if you really like to do that, but you can't do it. And for that just to show disrespect to this meeting, because you have just shown disrespect to the meeting, you know.
Met andere woorden zorgt die op terugverdienen. Want als u even deze check.
But no, but listen to me. You are going to forgo. You are going to forgo the position. You are going to forgo. You are going to forgo the chance. No. Even if you can scream, I'm not going to allow you. You
No,
have to
we can't
listen
go
to
on
me.
saying.
You are going to listen to me.
No.
I've given you a chance.
Also
I've
three.
given you a
Yeah,
chance.
we are three.
But talk, and I've given you
We
a
are
chance. I've given you a chance.
We are three.
If you are not going to speak, then it's fine. You can leave. If you don't want to speak, then it's okay.
No, what's happening?
If you don't want to speak, it's okay. Even if you like to scream, I'm not going to allow you now. Now we are not. Take the mic.
Aye.
Take the mic. You are not going to. And please remove him.
Aye.
Please remove him. I've given you a chance. I've been fair to you. I've given you a chance, and you refuse to speak. No, but I've given him a chance.
Thank you.
I've given him a chance. No. The other two will speak, but you are not going to speak. You are not going to speak. No problem. No problem. No problem. Okay, come in. Come in. I hope you are not going to do the same. You can come in. The two last speakers, you can come in.
Good evening, good evening. Chair, are you allowing me to speak Afrikaans? Okay. Goeienaand almal. My naam is Karel Kwes. Gebrood en geboter in Greenspark, hierdie gemeenskap. My geagte voorsitter, ek het gehoor dat ons stasie voorsitter genoem het dat Fochville is veilig. En Fochville is in veilige hande. Ek is teenstrydig met die statement. Ek wil praat rondom Greenspark, hierdie gemeenskap, even Kokosi, Fochville self, at least Fochville. Ons kan sê Fochville die dorp is 'n bietjie veilig, because omdat die blankes, meeste van die blankes voorregte gehad het en so aan, hulle het veilige huise, hulle het sekuriteitssisteme en al die tipe klas van dinge. Maar as dit kom by Greenspark, ek wil spesifiek van Greenspark praat. Ons het in die laaste kalenderjaar 2024 tot met in 2025, as ek mooi kan onthou, 2 tot 3 geskietgevalle in ons gemeenskap gevind, waarvan ons nie weet wie die intruders was nie. En ons het kinders verloor in die gemeenskap, ons het groot mense ook verloor in die gemeenskap. Ek wil niks wegvat van die database wat die stasiekommande genoem het nie. Ons weet hy's nie, ons ken hom nie in Greenspark nie. Ons weet hy's nie, maar ons salieer hom vir wat hy gedoen het, wat tot vandag toe op standaard is. Maar as dit kom by veiligheid van Greenspark, ons weet nie van dit nie. Ek kan vir u voorstel om vanaand in Greenspark te slaap, van 11 uur tot 4 uur, gaan jy ganskote hoor, wat jy nie weet waarvan afkom het nie. So hoe is ons veilig in Greenspark, of miskien Kokosi, of miskien Kutsong of Wedela? Ons weet die stasiekommander het nie materiaal nie, polisie, hy het nie mense nie, polities wat vir hom kan help om die werk te doen nie. Maar die feit bly staan, ons is nie veilig nie. Dankie.
The last one is this one.
Naar voren toe gaan.
Ja, staan net hier.
Goeienaand allemaal. By name, they call me Glenn Forrie. Geboren in Greenspark, hier is een plekje. Die gentleman wat voor mij gepraat heeft, maar basis alles gezegd wat ik ook wil gezegd het. Maar waar ik nou vandaag sta, wil ik net ons als een gemeenschap vragen hulp van die politie af. Ons biedt aan om zelf ook voor hulle te helpen om hulle werk bietjie beter te maken. So al wat ons wil is, hulle moet net terugkom naar ons toe en sê dat hulle sukkel met een sekere item hier in die gemeenskap. Ons het, hoe sê ons, patrollies wat die in die gemeenskap is. Maar min van hulle is
hoe kan ons sê, visible, dat ons ken wat ons wat die bly weet wat die aangaan. Maar die polisie weet ook dat wat die aangaan, maar die probleem is hulle vermy die feit dat hulle dalk gaan seer kry in die proses wanneer hulle wil rescue. Hier was al baie gevalle. Me, myself and I lost my little brother last year. And what I experienced on the scene was a little bit unprofessional. They were lying in the police van while there was vehicles moving around the scene. Terwyl my klein broertjie daar in sy bloed geversmoor het. Voertuie daar verby beweeg. Hulle het vir ons wat immediate family is gesê staan weg, maar hulle los kar om daar verby te ry. En dan moet ons weer teruggaan na die feit hoe polisman en polisvroue aangestel word. Die manier hoe dinge nou gedoen word en hoe dit gedoen was in die verlede. Dis hoekom ons deesdae deurmaak wat ons nou deurmaak. Want jy kan nog nooit so 'n klein polisvroukie gaan hier en dan moet hy polisvrou vir my kom vang. That's highly impossible. Me, myself, I know I have the heart of a hero. I applied for the police, but my neighbor was taken, but he was so small. How do we expect...
Last point, yeah.
Even if you can go to the police station, sir, the way things have been done this nowadays, it's totally wrong. So now I just want to know, hoe gaan ons nou te werke gaan vorentoe? Want ek myself, nowadays I normalize, I go to the police station, I visit, I share my ideas, and I'm happy for the service that I got recently. The captain and the station commander, they helped me and they exactly told me what needs to be done, and I'm happy that they feel the same. They are with us. But now we just want that power to push us into the right direction. So for this community small, man, one police van can protect this community. But now whenever they hear a gunshot, they will make sure they are the last one to be seen at the scene. And then the criminals and the crooks are gone by then.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. And sorry about your younger brother. It's not what we really want to hear if there's no service from our community reps and also our police. I think that concludes all the inputs that we have received. And I'm going to allow, starting with the councillor, Sifako, to respond on some of the issues relating to the municipality, which I think we have noted, and we are going to make sure that they somehow get sorted out. And then the next one who's going to respond will be the department on the questions or comments that were made in relation to what the department is responsible for, especially the issue relating to around patrollers, their stipend, and the number of the crime prevention ones or traffic wardens and how they are deployed and effectively. And I think lastly we'll then end with what the station commander will close off with the comments. But I guess that there are a number of things that are merely suggestions, purely suggestions that we need to take forward as a committee. I think the issues relating to the police station itself, it's something that we need to work on. We'll ask the police and the department to work on the feasibility so that we know in terms of the norms and standards and everything, so that we can be able to support the idea. I think the idea does make sense, and I think we agree with it. The issue relating to foreign nationals, it's a big question that we need to deal with. Station commander, it has been a cry generally, particularly around the issue relating to foreign nationals with illegal activities that they engage in, starting with drugs and the issue of scrapyards. So with that, I will allow the As I've outlined, colleagues to respond to the questions and comments. You can start, Councillor.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as you have already alluded that the issues that were raised by the community will be also raised in council. I would also want to indicate, Chair, on the issues of grass cutting, lights, potholes. It's something that the municipality is currently dealing with. We have a program currently that is running that it's called Sipushi Service Delivery. It goes ward by ward. Currently they are in Kutsong, fixing potholes, your street lights, your everything that has to do with a service delivery, your leakages and all. And the issue of the non-calling of public meetings by the resident ward councillor, I will definitely raise it with the council speaker to look into it. And Chair, I would also want to meet with the old lady at the back that was raising the issue before I leave, that was raising the issue of the informal settlements, and so I would want to meet with her before I leave so that I can get clarity on the issue that she raised. Thank you, Chair.
Department.
Thank you, Chair. I will give a response. My name is Meme Makane, and I'm the head of Provincial Secretariat in the Department of Community Safety. I think there was the first question from Member Bosch around e-panic, if they were working or not. I think we will convey this question to our sister department, eGov, Chair, because they are in charge of the e-panic program. We will engage with the provincial SAPS around the matter of vehicles. It is a known fact, even with us as we visit and do assessments with station, we've found the same problems, that the koloi hadia fella. So we will just continuously engage with them, and I think these are problems that are also registered with the Minister of Police at national level. It also goes to the question here, the need for the police station. We will also emphasize there's a list. There's many other areas in Gauteng where there's a similar shortage. Others are working from park homes. There are alternatives that are being made. So I want to believe that the matter of Kokosi is also treated accordingly. There are specifications that they are following, but we will emphasize that we had this meeting, and I think majority of the comments are about the need for a police station. I think in terms of the GBVF victims, the report, Station Commander, I'm sure there's about 4 green doors. It is us, the community, that must make sure that these green doors are serving the people, especially whilst we are still waiting for a proper resource or a closer police station that our people can go to. We've also noted the need for the sign language interpreter. I think that was Member Maluka who raised the question. There are a few that are being shared among various stations. We'll also raise it when we engage with SAPS that the Fochville police station be also prioritized in that list. Thank you very much, Chair.
Kennel, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chair. I'll be brief. The concern of Yonela of the VRF office, you can come and visit the station. Also, the lady who has 6 NPO in Fochville, you are welcome to visit tomorrow morning, or even on Monday when I'm in the office. Or you can make an appointment, you'll come and visit the station. The issue of drones to assist in the stock theft, it's a process that we are busy with as well. We've got farmers with drones, we'll utilize them. We had a meeting with them, and then they will assist us. In terms of vehicles, the numbers, it's 8 vehicles that are operational, which means that are doing, the vehicle return police are 8, Out of that 8, 4 of them are in the garage. 2 will be boarded. 1 is waiting for the new engine. So I'm left with 4 vehicles that are operational. There are issues, the vehicle staying at the police officers' houses. Yes, those people are on standby. When we call them, they are the necessary people that when we call, they're specialized in certain skills. So they need to have access to the vehicles. And they only get the vehicles if there is enough vehicles deployed at the station. The last question, let me quickly answer it, Chair. The crime that is happening at the location and is not reported to us as the police, we won't be able to address it. Please come forward, share with us. You can even go to the SAPS app. There's a portal there on the SAPS app that says rate my service at the police station, or you can go to my SAPS apps, then you leave your tips or your comments, or even the crime tips there. They don't need your details, they just need the address and the name of the suspect. Lastly, the last speaker, Corey, says he's so big that a small child cannot hire her. Unfortunately, if you don't have the matrics, SAPS won't make you a police officer. So I encourage our youth to go to school, have matric and matric plus, and currently we've got 5,000 vacancies in South African police services. Please go to the SAPS app and apply, then we will have an opportunity to hire you. And Chair, just for interest's sake, I can confirm that in Fochville, we have, I think it's 10, if not 15 members from, we've got 15 children that are staying in Kokosi. We've got more than 15 that stay here in Greenspark, which are the police officers. So Greenspark has got a police officer almost on every second street. So if crime is not reported to the police that they don't trust, they can go to the MySAPS apps, then the national office will address the issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any word from you, Madam, Chairperson of CPF?
Thank you, sir. For the visibility of the patrollers in Kokosi and Greenspark in Fochville, I'm currently busy getting quotations for reflector jackets to make my patrollers visible when they patrol, but I need patrollers to come and join the CPF. We don't get a salary, we don't get a stipend, it's a voluntary service we render to our community. And our community came first before we came first. Sometimes I'm busy until 2 o'clock in the morning with people phoning me to help them. So I try my best to be there for everyone, but I will make sure that all CPF patrollers are visible. And I also will make sure that there's a youth desk available also for the youth to assist them in the future. And everyone is welcome to come and join the CPF. But there is procedures that needs to be followed. I will be available for a few questions, and you can ask me, and I can give you guidelines how to join the CPF. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the responses. As I've said, some of the issues are issues that we are going to take forward as a committee. But one of the important things that we need to indicate is that you can report police wrongdoing. If you have evidence, you should be able to take that evidence. Because the issue is that with police that do wrongdoing, they actually spoil the good work of all the other police. And it makes the trust to diminish. So as a committee, we are also part of the process of making sure that we do hold our police accountable. We are going to write a formal letter to the council on the issues that were raised by the police around the issues of the environmental design. And I'm happy that the CPF are taking up the matter of street names and house numbering. But it's a task and a duty and obligation of the municipality to actually do that. Maybe from the provincial side of things, we might have to request, I think we've been commenting about it, HOD, a proper strategy on policing informal settlements from police, because it's something that keeps coming up and it keeps becoming a serious barrier of proper policing to be done in those areas. And I think if we can have a better sense of the number of informal settlements across the province and also know how the policing will be done. When we receive the crime stats, it's one of the areas that we're going to request the police management to actually to deal with. And lastly, thank you so much for everything, for your participation and your cooperation. And thank you so much. The meeting is adjourned. And maybe before the deputy chair of CPF is here, I was supposed to give him a chance to talk, because he's the one who has to give you reflectors, ultimately. Who has to give you reflectors and make sure that we are. But you are welcome, sir. And sorry for my oversight on this thing. Thank you so much. The meeting is adjourned.